Today we begin with Kural 1. Before words, before worlds, before even thought itself, there was a beginning. Not a loud beginning, but a silent foundation. All letters begin with Agaram. Likewise, the world begins with Adi Bhagavan. This is Kural 1 of the Tirukkural. And it is not just poetry, it is philosophy, it is science, it is systems thinking written 2000 years ago. Close up. Agaram is not chosen because it comes first in a list. It is chosen because no sound exists without it. In Tamil, consonants are lifeless without vowels. Agaram gives breath, it gives existence. Just like that. Nothing in this universe exists without a first clause. Stars moving in precise orbits, planets move, time flows, civilizations rise. But order does not arise from chaos, but by accident. There is structure, there is a source, there is a beginning. Alpha marks the beginning, Agaram creates the beginning. In our next Kural, we will see what sustains the world after its beginning. Subscribe for daily Tirukkural, science, philosophy, and depth. Thank you.
Welcome to the Lord forever. Today we are going to see Kural 21. In this universe, there are two kinds of conquerors. One conquers the world, the other conquers himself. The first leaves monuments of stone, the second leaves silence in time. This Kural speaks not about saints, but about beings who have burnt their karma consciously. It is alignment with cosmic law. They are not those who stood inside desire and watched it die. What is the hidden meaning? Why does Valluvar say literature dares to describe them? Because language belongs to the mind, but discipline dissolves the mind. How can thought describe one who has gone beyond thought? Words approach them the way waves approach a black hole. They bend, slow, and disappear. When Saturn becomes master, the moon stops reacting. When moon stops reacting, karma stops accumulating. At that moment, a human stops being janma bound and becomes conscious existence. Not renunciation of house, renunciation of psychological compulsions. Inside earth, magma is chaos. Under pressure and time, it becomes crystal. Crystal has memory of fire, but no agitation of fire. The sage is crystallized consciousness. The rarest person today is not intelligent, not rich, not spiritual. It is the person who cannot be provoked. The universe respects power, but it obeys inner stillness. That is Kural 21 by Valluvar. Thank you. Welcome to Kural 22. There are many great people in this world heroes, rulers, scholars, saints. History counts them, remembers them, builds statues for them. But today, Valluvar speaks of a different being. If you try to measure the greatness of one who has truly renounced, it becomes like trying to count every person who has ever lived and died on this earth. Impossible. Because renunciation is not giving up objects, it is giving up the owner inside the mind. A man may leave his house, yet carry desire within. Another may live in the marketplace, yet untouched inside. Only the second is in Jyotish. When Saturn matures, attachment loosens, not by force, but by understanding. The soul stops saying mine. In geology, mountains slowly erode into sand, not by violence, but by time and stillness. Ego dissolves away, grain by grain. So Valluvar says, do not try to compare it to such a being. Numbers belong to the world of forms. The renunciate has stepped outside counting. Where nothing is possessed, nothing can be lost, and there becomes freedom. Thank you. That was Kural 22. Welcome to Kural 23. This couplet explains that the greatness of a person who understands the dual nature of life and lives righteously becomes widely recognized in society. Human existence constantly operates through opposites such as pleasure and pain, success and failure, praise and criticism, gain and loss. A wise individual realizes that these conditions are temporary and inevitable. Because of this awareness, such a person chooses ethical conduct not out of fear, reward, or social pressure, but out of understanding. The verse highlights the morality based on knowledge is superior to morality based on compulsion. When a person understands the impermanent nature of external situations, emotional reactions reduce and stability develops. This leads to patience, fairness, and consistency in behavior. Society naturally trusts and respects individuals who remain balanced under changing circumstances. In public administration, this idea has great relevance. A civil servant constantly encounters conflicting pressures, public opinion, and unpredictable outcomes. Decisions driven by emotional impulses may lead to bias or injustice. However, a person who remains steady despite changing situations can maintain neutrality, objectivity, and accountability. Ethical governance therefore requires inner balance before external authority. Thus, true greatness emerges not from power or recognition, but from a disciplined mind that understands reality and practices virtue consistently. Thank you. Welcome to Kural 24. This couplet compares self control to a protective fence that safeguards valuable property. A person who uses the tool of wisdom to restrain the five senses sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch plants the seed for the highest form of prosperity in life. The verse suggests that discipline is not repression but protection. It preserves one's character and future well being. Human actions are largely driven by sensory impulses. When these impulses operate without guidance, they lead to excess, distraction, and ethical compromise. However, when one guided by awareness and restraint, they become productive forces. Therefore, controlling the senses is presented as an investment whose appear as stability, reputation, and long term success. In public administration and leadership, this teaching is especially relevant. Positions of authority expose individuals to some temptations such as power, misuse, corruption, and personal bias. A civil servant lacking restraint may damage both public trust and institutional integrity. Conversely, one who governs personal desire can govern public responsibility. Ethical conduct, transparency, and accountability emerge naturally from self discipline. Thus, the couplet teaches us that inner regulation precedes outer achievement. Material wealth and authority remain temporary, but character built through self control becomes enduring capital. True prosperity is therefore the result of mastering oneself before attempting to manage the world. Thank you. Kural number 25. There is strength the world fears, and a strength the universe respects. Valluvar speaks of the second. The one who has subdued the five senses needs no throne to be powerful. Sight demands beauty, tongue demands taste, ear demands praise, skin demands comfort, mind demands importance. All authority in the world struggles against others, but the sage struggles only within, and that victory cannot be taken away. Even the king of the heavens becomes only an example to show how much such strength is. Because ruling people requires position, ruling oneself requires awareness. Watch carefully. Every fall in life begins with one uncontrolled impulse. Anger ruins judgment. Desire ruins stability. Pride ruins wisdom. But when the senses become servants instead of masters, a strange thing happens. Circumstances stop controlling the person. Power is no longer outside. The greatest throne is a mind that does not obey temptation. Thank you. The world calls many people great, those with wealth, with followers, with influence. But Valluvar quietly asks, what have they done that was truly difficult? Greatness is not measured by comfort, it is measured by the ability to act against inner resistance. Anyone can do what is easy. Habit does it, desire does it, crowds do it. The rare person does what the mind refuses to forgive when hurt, to stay honest when loss is certain, to remain calm when anger is justified. to stand alone when approval disappears. These are not natural actions, they are conscious actions. Most people are not defeated by the world, they are defeated by hesitations within. The small person waits for mood, the great person acts by clarity. So Valluvar divides humanity quietly, not rich and poor, not strong and weak, but those who can do the difficult and those who cannot. Greatness begins the moment comfort stops deciding your choices. Thank you. How does the world hold us? Kural 27 it explains. Not with chains, but with experiences. Taste pulls, sight attracts, touch comforts, sound captivates, smell awakens memory. Wallower observes this silently. The one who understands the true nature of these five holds the key to the world because the senses do not bind us by force, they bind us by interpretation. We do not chase objects, we chase the feeling we think they will give. Pleasure is not outside, it is a reaction inside. When this is seen clearly, attachment weakens on its own. The same sound that distracts one person becomes silence to other. The same praise that excites one mind passes through like wind through space. Understanding breaks chains more gently than resistance ever could. So, mastery is not blindness, not denial, not escape. It is seeing exactly how experience forms desire. The world controls the senses, but awareness controls the world. Thank you. Kural number 28. Some people speak beautifully, some speak powerfully, but a rare few speak truthfully. Valluvar turns our attention to them. The greatness of those whose words are complete is revealed by sacred words themselves. Because truth needs no advertisement, it recognizes its own echo. When a person speaks without distortion, without exaggeration, without hidden attention, their speech begins to carry weight beyond sound. Over time, people trust them, even before they understand them. Ancient wisdom survives only through such mouths, not through memory, but through integrity. Most speech tries to impress, some speech tries to persuade, but fulfilling speech simply reflects reality, and reality supports it. You can notice this quietly. Arguments grow around uncertain words, silence grows around certain ones. The world debates opinions, but it rests on truth. When words become pure, they stop belonging to the speaker and begin to existence. Thank you. Kural 29. Anger is fast. It does not ask permission. It does not wait for wisdom. It rises and speaks before the mind arrives. Valluvar watches even the wise man here. Even one who stands upon the mountain of virtue finds it difficult to restrain anger for a single moment. Because anger is not lack of knowledge, it is speed of reaction. Years of discipline build character, but one instant of fire tests it. The danger is not shouting, the danger is the loss of awareness. In that moment, the person disappears and impulse speaks. Later comes regret, but the moment never returns. So, wisdom is not proven in meditation, not proven in silence, it is proven in interruption. When insult arrives, when injustice strikes, when ego feels hurt, the pause before response decides the height of a human being. Greatness is not never feeling anger, it is giving awareness 1 second more than anger. What makes a person truly sacred? Not learning, not birth, not the marks they wear. Walliver gives a simple measure. The noble one is the one who lives in righteousness and moves with tenderness towards every living being. Because compassion is the final form of understanding. When the mind still sees difference, kindness becomes effort. When understanding deepens, kindness becomes mature. Such a person does not decide to be gentle. Gentleness happens around them. Even silence feels safe. Even a small creature does not fear their presence. They live no longer as a separate self, but as a part of life itself. Spirituality is not how high one stands above others, but how softly one stands among them. Where no one being feels threatened, their holiness has already arrived.